Hey, it's this thing. It's the computer you may remember from such award-winning videos as using a 3D printed case on an N100 ITX system or something along those lines. Yeah, um, it's served me pretty well so far, but the thing is, when I'm at college, they don't have AC in the dorms. And the big black workstation, which you may remember from such award-winning videos as building the big black workstation, gets really hot. So much so that it heats up my room. In the winter, that's fine because I just, run a stress test on it and that's my heater. But in the summer, I don't want a heater. So, what I want, I've been using a little Dell Optiplex. This thing during the warm season, so late spring, early fall instead. My monitor has a built-in KVM, so I can just switch between that and the big black workstation if needs be. But, I have a much more powerful computer here. I would like to use it, but I don't really trust this case to hold up to college rigor, as it were. So, I've gone ahead and gotten this Silverstone ML05, the mini ITX HTPC benchmark. Wow. Yeah, we'll do a little unboxing or something. Yeah, I don't know what the YouTube people like. There's screws, manual, some mesh, zip ties, and the star of the show. Wow, wow, wow. Come on, get out of there. Yeah. Yep. Continuing on. Ah, there it goes. Now, excuse me, but I have already peeled the plastic off of the front. I know some of you guys probably are big into that thing. But yeah, check it out. You've got a half height slot here and a full size one here if you choose to use a riser. Then a little knockout for a COM port, which, on most computers, I would probably make use of that. But this one is pretty cool. The motherboard has a COM port built in. One of the big things that I chose this case for was the fact that it has a DVD drive, because I use that kind of thing pretty regularly. Pretty much every computer that I use for any kind of serious business has an optical media bay. The big black workstation has one. It actually has multiple. It has, well, not optical media bays, has multiple removable drive bays. You'll know there's a video where I installed a floppy in it. This one has a DVD rewriter. It actually used to have just a reader, but I changed it out because, I actually use optical media. But the thing with this one is it's slot loading only. I wasn't going to pay another, $30 for the non-slot loading version. But what I do have is this old knockoff Mac USB thing. Yeah. That's a slot loading drive. You can tell it's maybe from the heap there that's kind of trying to emulate the Apple slot loading USB drives. Kind of failing at it currently. But anyway, yeah, this system's gonna go in there. One other interesting thing about it is you'll notice it has a power supply bay. What the fuck is my vein doing there? What the fuck? I hate that. But you'll notice this does not have a power supply. It has a built-in little DC input. So that leaves me all this free space in the chassis. What I'm thinking we do, build a little hard drive cage in there, 3D print it naturally, or maybe I'll do a little metal fab. That would be fun. And then, yeah, have a few hard drives for mass storage. This will, of course, be booted off an SSD. But, yeah. Surely I have a screwdriver around. Yep. Oh, yeah. You got two USB 3 and your audio input and output. Yeah. Yeah, and then you've got a little small hard drive bay over there. Big old fan mount with, I believe there are more hard drive mounts underneath that. Oh no, optical drive mount. Alright, that's it all put together. You can see it's shockingly empty. Especially got the SSD in there. You can hardly even see it. Good gracious. Yeah. I don't know. It's just, regular SSD. They all look the same. But yeah, it's a computer, all the cables are kind of together, which I don't hate it. Eventually, I left this SATA power free because I need to make an adapter to go from standard SATA power to slimline SATA. But I need to find a female end SATA power. But anyway, can just slide that in. Also, since the case is a lot larger and not at risk of melting, I've removed the fan I had taped to the CPU cooler. Certainly hope that we aren't taping fans straight to CPU dies these days, but you know what? I wouldn't put it past the modern industry and or community. This will be my first fully passive x86 computer. I've had fully passive computers before. Let me see if I can find it, because one of them is really, really cool. How's this for a passive computer? Check that out. Pi 4 in the DeSalvo Phineas case. Absolutely beautiful. Fortunately, this is only the 2GB model, I believe, because I didn't have the money for the full 4GB one. But God, it's still a work of art. I need to put that to use. Suggestions, anyone? Yeah. I don't know. I wonder if I could put a 3.5-inch hard drive in there. Let's see. 8TB hard drive I pulled from the trash. Oh, it's going in. But it's slightly too long. Yeah, I'm not going to be happy with that. Better stick with just... Maybe I can put a SAS bay in there, because I have some spare SAS drives. Check these out. Where are they? I know I had them. Yes, here we go. Serial attached SCSI. You can tell it's different because it's just one connector. Power and data. This is an old 300GB Dell 10,000 RPM drive. I really like them though because they're cheap. The next thing on the docket after the adapter is a Wi-Fi card, because I've come to appreciate having those. I prefer and generally use Ethernet, don't get me wrong, but it's nice to have Wi-Fi too, and I've got the holes for it. Yeah. Anyway, that's that for the actual build. Next part will either be me using it or me adding those other things. There it is all put together, and man, that is pretty indeed. Hi. You can tell it's a little more reflective than just piano black. It actually looks a lot lighter on camera. With the current lighting in person, it is pretty much black, but I mean, as you can see, I think the camera gives a better perception of what it's like under normal conditions. Now what I need to do, this part always freaks me out. I gotta put the feet on. 1, 2, 3. Now it looks even more like hi-fi equipment. Wow, the thing designed to look like a home theater component looks like a home theater component. Wow. Okay. Here I am in Dev 1. There's the system specifications. It's running XFCE. Pretty fun. I don't know, the sort of Mac OS, not really dock isn't my favorite thing, but I have no moral or technical issues with it. I actually found the installation to be very simple, or rather a nice balance, because you are given the option to like manually cheroot at the end of the installation, which I found very cool. And what else? You do need to take care of your own disk formatting, but that should be fine for any skilled Linux user. You should know how to do that. And yeah, the biggest pain in the ass was just figuring out the locales, which isn't too bad, but the weirdest quirk of the installation was the fact that there's no status bar for when it's generating the locales. So it just looks like it's hanging. It is working, but if you have it generate all locales like I initially did, then it'll hang for, or appear to hang for a good long while. Yeah. Look. There are a few niceties, like this does come with sudo, all nice and pre-configured and installed, which I don't believe Debian has it pre-installed on. There's settings. It's not all that interesting. I remember thinking during the live image that I liked something about Thunar, but I forget what on earth it was. Vim. You get Vim. And what's this Midnight Commander? Whoa. That's some DOS looking shit there. What else? Task Manager. A nice little GUI for sensors. That's pretty cool. I should have more CPUs than that. Oh, I see. That's just CPU and memory. I thought that was one graph per CPU, like in Windows. Yeah, that also works. Would be nice to see individual CPU cores, though. LibreOffice Draw and Ristretto and Xane. Oh, that's right. That's for importing camera stuff. Internet comes with Firefox, ESR, and Mutt. What's this Mutt thing? Ah, it's a mail client. You get a nice CD burner. That's pretty cool. I'd prefer if they just shipped a VLC, but you know. Demo videos now. That would be bloat. Office. We do get the entire LibreOffice and Mutt again. Larger fonts or smaller fonts. Which is sort of interesting. Just as you can see, makes fonts larger or smaller. It's mostly an accessibility thing, I think, for the installation. And then we've got Gparted, HTOP. That's the installer. Wait, is it? Refract a snapshot. No, this is for taking backup images of a running system. That is cool to have. And then Xterm and what's UXterm? Let's see. Any big difference? No, absolutely not. Oh. Anyway, I may go through and install like a Trinity desktop on this. That seems pretty cool. But apart from that, you know, it's a little computer. You know, what do you expect? The power button is a bit iffy on this. It's weird. I don't know. I think there's something wrong with the power plug on it. Because you have to get the power plug in just kind of the right position for it to work. And then once it does, you're fine. But if you jiggle it around, it's gonna fuck up again. So I might do a little board rework on that. But apart from that, I'm pretty happy with it. Fun.